Holly, if this new filing system's going to work, you gotta keep the outdated stuff off my desk, alright? Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Yes, we have a huge penumbra of lens flareage taking place above my head. But hey ho, let's just roll with it, shall we? This year, 2025, is the 50th anniversary of Jaws. 50th anniversary. The weird thing about that is, I'm 55, I'll be 56 this year. Right at the anniversary time of Jaws' release in June. But Jaws seems to have been going for a lot longer than that, doesn't it? No matter what your age is, it seems to have been here forever, since primordial times. And boy do we love it. So, in the first of what's going to be many, many celebratory videos to do with Jaws and the whole legacy of our favourite maritime monstrous movie, we're going to crack on with this. Now, a lot of these videos are going to be just a bit of fun, a bit of whimsy perhaps, because on the channel, as you guys know, I've covered Jaws and Jaws 2 probably more than anything else. And that's saying something when I've done a lot for American Werewolf and Mad Max and Escape from New York. So Jaws is a perennial favourite. So I've covered pretty much everything. I've probably even covered what I'm going to talk about today. Probably, but I don't know. And what is it? What is it? Brody. And Brody's badge. His police chief of amity badge. Yes. I must have mentioned this in the past. But this got mentioned to me about a week or so ago. And I thought, oh, yeah, there's a nice topic for a video. It's only slight, but it's worth talking about because the positioning of Brody's badge on his shirt, his beige khaki shirt, his work shirt, his police shirt, is important because it gives us a segue into his character, especially according to Roy Scheider himself. So anyway, what's the beef? What's the rumpus? His police badge, according to police chief of amity Brody, he wears it on the right side of his shirt. So what, Kilt-Man? So what? You wear your badge. Police and law enforcement all over the world wear their badges or their designation on the left, over the heart. There's a reason for that. And the reason, as I can ascertain it, is, well, uniformity. They all wear it on the left-hand side, but it's also over the heart, meaning that your job it's a vocation. You're doing it to serve, the people. People come first. You're doing it from the heart. Military, you get your ribbons and your medals. Where did it go? On the left-hand side. Oh, your heart again. Yeah. Now, in America, all law enforcement have got some kind of badge, a shield, and it's over the left titty. In the UK, they wear it on the titty on their head. Their police badge on the big boob on top of their heads. On the left-hand side of their high-vis or their tunics or whatever their uniform, they'll just have police officer or Met Police. That's all they'll have. Not a shield, it's just saying what they are. But in America, it'd be very obvious to American audiences that that's on the wrong side. So, over the years, for many, many years, I didn't even notice that because it wasn't a thing to me. I saw it when it first came out. I was only a kid. It didn't mean nothing to me. It was about a great big shark, like biting people in half. So I didn't care about where his badge was and what it meant to his character. This is turmeric and ginger tea. Pretty good stuff. Made it myself. It actually is. Yes, this is the new caring, sharing, health and fitness Kilt-Man. It won't last long, trust me. It will not last long. Whiskey, I crave whiskey. And apricot brandy. Anyway, American audiences will have picked up on that and thought, that's a mistake, isn't it? So I've seen a few different reasons why he's wearing it on the right side. And mostly it came across as it's a continuity error. They put it on the wrong side and then they didn't realise. And then, oh my God, someone said, it's on the wrong side. We'll have to do some reshoots. Oh, we can't afford to do that. Reshoots. Jaws is the film of reshoots. It's one thing to do reshoots at sea with a big mechanical shark that, ain't working. The shark is broken, remember, most of the time. The sun's in a different place, clouds are coming over, there's a ship on the horizon. Oh, we can't remove it digitally, we're going to have to go and film the entire sequence again. Oh no. The film was plagued with all this. It had multiple reshoots. So reshoots on dry land weren't going to be much hassle really, were they? It's nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that at all. The other story that came out which has some relevance, and especially to what I'm going to talk about, Carl Gottlieb, who's the co-screenwriter of Jaws and plays Meadows in the movie, he asked Roy Scheider, who apparently it was Scheider's decision to put the badge there. He said, well, why are you wearing it there? And Roy Scheider said words along the line of, well, it's to throw the audience off. It's to show that Brody's a complex, complicated, mysterious kind of character. When the audiences see that, that's on the wrong side. They're basically going to feel sort of subconsciously unnerved, slightly perturbed. What's this guy capable of? And I like that. And I also thought, well, as if Roy Scheider really thought all that, put that much kind of depth into his character. But the more you watch the film, and the more tempestuous, impetuous, impulsive Brody's character is, he does become something of a maverick. Yeah, he's come from New York, he's gone to Amity Island, and when do you become an Islander? Ellen, never. You'll never be an Islander. Mrs. Taft, of course, who is sitting just over here. There she is. They're outsiders. Look at his marriage. His marriage is great. Him and Lorraine Gary, as his missus, it's a lovely family dynamic. He's not an aggressive man at all. He might shark. I was going to say that. He might shout and blow his stack when things aren't going right, and when petty small town bureaucracy, Mayor Vaughan, and whoever's leaning on Mayor Vaughan, the mafia, it's vaguely hinted at in Jaws, only vaguely, but it's in the book quite prevalently, that they're leaning on him, and you've got to keep, it's the summer town, we need summer dollars and all that, and those beaches will be open, So Brody blows his stack many times against bureaucracy and red tape and a cover-up when he knows what's happening, and his suspicions are obviously all confirmed. But back at home, they're on equal level. Him and Ellen are on equal footing. They look after the kids the same way. He's a police chief, but he has no real authority at home. The two of them, they work together. It's one of the most beautiful aspects of Jaws, is all the relationships between everybody, but especially between Ellen and Brody. It's a totally believable relationship, a totally believable marriage where they're at a point in their lives, they've moved somewhere else, they're making a name for themselves. He likes his job, he likes the area, nothing really bad's ever happened, because in Amity, one man can make a difference, and he gets up, he knows everybody. It's like he's been there since he was a kid, 'cause he knows every single person. But that shows what a good copper he is. He's got to know all the locals and the regulars and all that. The regulars, I'm talking about a pub. He's got to know all the community, and most of them, by and large, like him and respect him. So he's done a damn good job. He was a good guy. But when things slightly go awry, he's liable to lose the plot, go balmy, go ape shit, And I'll tell you something else, quick, you're certifiable, you know that? When things go wrong, he will erupt in frustration, and he does hit the bottle. He'll have a bevy or two, because he'll want to get drunk and fool around. He's a totally believable three-dimensional character. So Scheider's saying, I wanted to show that, you make the audience think, this guy, this everyman is meant to be our hero, but can we trust him? He's put his badge on the wrong side. In reality, I don't think he'd get away with that, because someone's going to say, so he's going to get pulled up all the time. Chief, isn't your badge? I'm like, yeah, that's some bad hat, Harry. You can talk. Cheers, y'all. And this is borne out by the scene in Jaws 2. Of course, Jaws 2, he gets fired. Only he knows there's a shark out there. He's suspicious. No one else wants to believe it. He's got photographs that have come up from the air that the two divers that got killed at the start, and he gets the film. Fogarty gets the film developed, and he's watching it get developed, and he's like, You see the big looming shark eye, black eye, lifeless eyes, like a doll's eyes. He sees that, and it's like he storms into the mayor and the town selectmen and women, because Mrs. Taft is there as well. Goes, look at these pictures. Look, that's a shark. And he's going, look, there's a face, there's the eye. Look, there's the fucking teeth. And they're all going, is it seaweed? It's very murky. That's underwater. I can tell. So, what is wrong with you people? I know what a shark looks like because I've seen one up close. I don't want to go to the hell again. There should be a fucking statue of Brody in Amity on every street corner. He was the one that killed the bloody shark. If you look at it properly, in Jaws, all three of them had a hand in killing that shark, putting the harpoons and the barrels on it, attacking it once it hits the cage. Hooper plays a huge part in this too. But it is Brody. It's Brody who knows that canister's going to explode. You screw around with these and they're going to blow up. And of course, Brody's line, blow up. Yeah, there you go. So it all plays a part. The shark would not be defeated without the actions of all three of these guys. But it is Brody that saves the day, ultimately. So there should be a statue there. And if this guy yells shark and starts shooting at the beach, believe him. Bluefish. Chief, just bluefish. And he's like, it's okay, go back in the water. They're all like, fuck that, Oh, that was a beach. Shot off my mouth, shot off my gun. But he's come back after being fired. And there's Hendricks there. Jeffrey Kramer, Hendricks. And because he's been fired, it's going to be Hendricks who's going to be chief of police. So what does Brody do? He pins the badge on Hendricks' shirt. But where does he pin it? He pins it on the left, where it should be. And again, that's a clever moment. It's a pivotal thing. I've always worn it on the right because I uphold the law, but I don't like authority. And this is a segue into, I've used that phrase twice now. I hate that phrase, segue. I can't stand it, but I've done it myself now. But third time, it's a great segue into the inner workings of Brody as a character. And he's like, yes, I uphold the law, but I can't stand bureaucracy and them telling me what to do. This is my job. It's my town. I look after everybody here. You people, you've got money, you pull some strings, but you're not looking after the people at all. You want them in the water. You're going to set up a smorgasbord. It's clever. So I stand for myself, my family, and all the people here, the community, and I'm going to wear it on this side, right? I know the way you look at it, I'm pointing to the opposite side. That's the right. And so when he gives it to this is going to look a lot better on you than it did on me. You're a snappier dresser, he says. And he's been drinking, of course. Again, Brody hits the bottle. Or in this case, he gets out that fantastic police cruiser. And there's all cans spilling out of it. So was he been drink driving as well? Maverick! He pins it on him. and starts singing Hail to the Chief and all that. Oh, drinking the good stuff. Yeah. Poor Hendricks, they're going to fire his ass too. And of course, you know that they ultimately, if the film and the story played out into Jaws 3, which we know we got Jaws 3, but and we got some Brody's in there, but we don't talk about that ever, never. And we never talk about what happened to Brody as revealed in Jaws the Revenge. We don't talk about that either. Jaws, the saga, stops at the end of Jaws 2. That's it. But in reality, would Brody get his job back, having been vindicated, saved the kids and all that? Would he get his job back? Probably. And Mayor Vaughan, if he didn't get fucking fired, and Len Peterson, the one who's trying to get Ellen, we'll talk about it in a minute, you know, you'd get Murray Hamilton, wouldn't you? Well, Mayor Vaughan, pasting. My kids were on that beach too. Look, you do what you do best. You're going to sign this. We're going to get Quint to kill the shark. I can't do that. Yes, you fucking can. Do it now! But after Jaws 2, if they'd been fired, you'd kick the shit out of him. And Mrs. Taft, yeah, with your scratty, curly hair. I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's funny at all. Poof! They're all great characters. They're all immensely believable. little supporting cast members, cameos, real locals who were in there from Amity and of course down in Florida where they filmed a lot of Jaws 2. Real people interacting, and it gives both Jaws and Jaws 2 a real flavour of being a real place, a lively, bustling community of real three-dimensional people who are undergoing a real metaphysical, external threat from the sea. This is good stuff, He's got a point, he says, pointing. So Brody and the Badge, his opinions, his ideas often go against the grain of the town elders. He rankles them. He doesn't want to be a yes man. Although, he's first told when Chrissy's remains get washed up on the beach, it's a shark attack. He just types it in, shark attack. And then, of course, on the ferry, he gets told, it's a boating accent. Yes, I think it could be a boating accent. Hey, Larry, I'm just reacting to what, he told me. We have to change our reports. So he knows there's a cover-up taking place right early doors. And then he'll fight against that continually as other things happen. Once Alex Kittner gets chomped, oh dear God, and we get that reverse dolly. I'm sorry, that was probably quite frightening for you guys with my harried visage these days. There's another reason why I'm trying to cut back on the whiskey, because it's playing havoc with the old complexion. Cheers, y'all. I'm getting to look like one of these salty, barnacled old seafaring war dogs on a vendetta against sharks. And of course, we've got the River Mersey mako sharks, very rare species. They only exist in the Mersey. They're all scousers. Did the wrong accent there. Oh dear God. Help me, please. I need whiskey to get back on track. So yeah, Brody and the Badge. It's actually very important. Now, that quote from Carl Gottlieb about when he asked Roy Scheider, why are you doing this? I'm not sure where I read that, whether it's in the Jaws log, which is by Carl Gottlieb. It probably is in that, whether it's in Memories of Martha's Vineyard or all the other Jaws related books that I've got, and there's many. It is somewhere. I'm sure if you go online you'll find it as well. But that's what Scheider said. Now, you would think that costume department and Spielberg are going to go, no, look, you're the police chief. People are going to think we've done this wrong. But maybe Scheider had a real sense of how to imbue this character and make him more realistic. Yeah, he's anti-authoritarian, but he upholds the law. He's a great family man, but he hits the bottle when things are going awry. He's got his phobias. He's afraid of the sea, with damn good reason. I can't imagine why. I fucking can. He's a fully rounded character, and he's a bit of a maverick as well. He's made the move from the city to, the island. He's already sort of an outsider. He'd be an outcast from his home police department. Why are you going out there? This is where the real action is. I want the quiet life. Does he want the quiet life? Is that why he's done it? Well, you don't really find out why they've done it. Is it a better quality of life? Well, possibly so. But there's something about Brody. There's a certain unpredictability about him. He's the man of the moment when he's needed to be. But he will have panic attacks. He will not know what to do next. He's unsure of himself. He's unsure what kind of knot to tie. He hasn't got a clue about many of the things that all these other characters who live on an island take for granted. But unlike Hooper, Brody is a big yahoo on the land. Back to the badges. It's funny, and I've just thought I'd throw this in because I haven't got a replica of the Amity Police badge. I do intend to get one though because they are available. Just think it'd be cool because I've got the right shirt for it as well to put it on. But as I say, all police forces and law enforcement have the badge on the left, right? The left, right. Mad Max, the original Mad Max. Max and his leather-suited cowboys of the high road. of the MFP, Main Force Patrol, the last ditch Aussie police law enforcement in a world gone to rat shit. Where do they wear their badges? Yeah, on the left. Can you see that? Let's take this off because I know it's gone. As I'm looking at this, it's gone very dark in here, but the MFP badge, the bronze, as we call it, there it is, appropriately on the left. But Max being a bit of a maverick as well, because they all are, because they openly kill bad guys on the road, but they've got the big leather boots, the Rossiter boots on, and he wears another badge, and I happen to have one here, another one, and he wears it on his boot, but on the right boot. So he's got a badge on the left of his jacket and a badge on the right boot. So he's got two badges. That's cool. Now I've got great Mad Max boots, but for the life of me, I cannot get that fucking badge on the boot. It's got a pin and all that, but you're not going to penetrate the leather with that. And I've been to like what do you call them? People who work on footwear. I can't remember what they're called now. Cobblers. It's a load of old cobblers. And I was like, can you put this on? And to find a proper old cobbler's shop in the UK now, they're rarer than rocket horse shite. You're not going to find one. Like oldie worldy skills, you've got to go out into the rurals to find somebody who can do that, and they're going to charge you the air and more. So I went to a cobbler's and said, can you put that on, in this boot, because I can't do it. And he went, can't do that. As if like it offended his mum. Well, you must have some kind of leather and metal glue that'll work. Some way of fastening it in. Some way of just, surely you can do it. No, can't do that. Oh, no. Look, you see all these plastic packets of insoles and new little rubber heels? That's all I do, mate. I want to do keys as well. Well, fucking lot of good you are. So still got that sitting there. But yeah, so the badge on the left means you're a stalwart stand-up guy. You're part of conformity. That's what you do. You wear it on the right. You're playing with the rules a little bit. So as I say, I can't imagine that Spielberg and the costume department and anyone else would have gone like, just put up with it without Scheider giving, no, there's a reason for this. And young director that Spielberg is at the time, he's gone like, yeah, okay, let's run with that. It's kind of clever. If anyone picks up on it, great. And if they don't and they actually hail abuse at us, we'll just say, oh, it's a bit of depth, it's a bit of subtext, But in the end, it didn't matter because Jaws became an absolute juggernaut. One of the biggest, most successful movies ever made, and still going strong. The stage show right now is doing great guns. Of course, with Ian Shaw, Robert Shaw's son. I mean, you know all about it. A lot of you've probably seen it. I haven't. And it's playing in the UK right now, but nowhere near me. Bloody hell, I say. Such a shame. But anyway. Oh, Ellen and Len Patterson, played by, what's his name? Did I write that down? Joseph Mascolo. He's the property developer who's probably got his fingers in many pies. And he's sort of like the nemesis, whereas Mayor Vaughn was the human nemesis in Jaws. Len Patterson is the guy Peterson, is the human nemesis besides Murray Hamilton's Mayor Vaughn in Jaws 2, because he's making a play for Ellen. We know this. And this was like a kind of nice sort of hark back to Jaws the novel, where Peter Benchley writes it that Ellen's a bit bored with the mundane life, the married life and the island life, and Hooper, when he turns up young, virile, full of adventure, spits and likes the ocean, unlike her husband. He's got a bit of raw sexuality about him. Has a fling with him, and of course Hooper gets killed by the shark in the book. Saves the job of Brody doing it, and Brody has sussed it as well. Brody knows, but that's not in the movie at all. But as a reflection of that little undertone from the original book, Jaws 2, Len Peterson is putting the moves on Ellen because she's working for him, and they're having big do's and all that, and he's always sitting next to her and dancing with her, and he wants to know her, and he's doing it in front of Brody. Marvellous woman that, don't know what to do without her. But Brody is savvy about this, but also quite relaxed. When he could fly off the handle, but he doesn't. He just goes, I don't know what I'd do without her. No, nor do I. You know, because she's my wife, you know. And this antagonism progresses throughout Jaws 2. Of course, he erects the shark spotting tower, and he's up there, and Len Peterson and Ellen are taking a bunch of new investors, new realty investors, you know, about condominiums we're going to build here, there, and everywhere. Like, oh, it's wonderful. Like, wave to my son, and Mayor Vaughan's going like that, because what's that man doing up there? They go, oh, what man, dear? That man up in the tower. And they're going, shit, Brody's in his fucking tower looking for sharks. I told him about that. And they're going, oh, he's a spotter. He's you know, getting sort of meteorological studies and looking for birds. And the little girl goes, no, he's looking. It's a shark tower. He's looking for sharks. Oh no. Oh, what's that over there? You know, shut that kid up now. Wave to my son. And then of course Brody sees the. But in that sequence there, when he shoots up the beach and all that, and only Sean, his youngest son, helps him pick up more cartridges than he actually fired shots. He fires off, I think, 5. I've done this before and I've forgotten now. He fires off 5 shots, I think, but it may be 6. You know, in all this excitement, I can't remember myself. But him and Sean pick up about 20 fucking spent casings off the deck. He didn't fire that many. And you see Ellen's all like, the one time you see her actually despairing at her husband, but it's not because she's furious with him, it's because she can see how this is important to him. He's been through it before, he's trying his best to warn everyone, he's doing his job, and she actually says that at one stage, what the hell does he think he's doing? His job, she says, which is exactly her mentality. She stands behind her man. And in that moment, she's getting held back because she's like, she wants to go to him, but it's also, I always fancied Lorraine Gary as Ellen, but I fancied her more in Jaws than I did in Jaws 2 for some reason. And in this scene, she looks, it's the worst she's ever looked. She's like, and her hair's gone all kind of crazy, and she's getting held back. And you can tell, although it's not made over, you can tell that Len Peterson is going to use that. Right, Ellen, you come with us. Don't worry about him. I warned you about him. He's a maniac. You know, he's sharks everywhere. Just because he killed one 25-footer, you know, 3 tons of him. Just because he's killed one of those, he thinks he owns the beach. You know, he's Poseidon. Come with me, and I'll show you our new condominium. Hey, aye. Which is why when Brody takes the pictures, you know, well, Martin, just take a seat. Let us look at the pictures and make our own minds up. And they all go off into the back room. In that scene, Murray Hamilton as Mayor Vaughan, I think does show a bit of compassion, a bit of understanding with Brody, because he's the one who speaks softly and like, well, let us go and think about this. Go on, just take a seat, man. It won't be long. But it's Len Peterson again who's sitting there. Oh, Jesus Christ! Look at him. The guy's a maniac. You know. Come on, Larry. You know. And he doesn't move. They all go into the different rooms to look and shut the door, which is a bit rude, I think. But you know, they're all like, we're gonna fire his ass now. And but there could be a shark out there. Oh, shut up! You know, Mrs. Taft, you idiot. There's no sharks out there. 24 hours is like 3 weeks. Brody's sitting there, and Len is just sitting at the top desk, and Brody's going like looking at him. Like they all walked off that way. He goes like. And Len just goes, gets up and walks off. Like, it's brilliant. In some ways, in many ways, I wish there was a payoff to that. Jaws 2 simply ends with, you know, come here you to Sean. You know, they've gone to that little fucking electrical outpost island, and the big jolt, the sharks bit on the big electric cable, and you've seen smoke billowing out of its black eyes, and it's totally fucking, you know, on fire. And Brody saved the day again. Well, and you get Sean, then the camera pans back, and it's all glorious, and you get John Williams. Let's play Jaws 2, for that matter. Let's do it, shall we? I do love the Jaws. I always do this, don't I? I always get sort of tangled as to whether I like the Jaws 2 score more than Jaws 1. There's excellence in Jaws 1, of course, it's a masterpiece, but John Williams bringing the harp into Jaws 2 just gave it this magisterial quality of haunting, menacing. Oh, it's so gorgeous, and I'm talking all the way over it, but you know. But I kind of wish that Brody had got back to Amity, and we did see, this is the second time now in 4 years where I've saved this community from a fucking great big great white shark, and you bastards didn't believe me, you didn't listen to me, you fired me. What are you gonna do now? Make me president! And I wear my presidential badge on this side. In fact, I'll wear it on my ass. Don't you wish you could have got that? You don't get it in Jaws, you don't get it in Jaws 2. And after 2 events like this, where he's come up against a great big, you know, maritime monster, and he's beaten it and saved the lives of countless, you know, chomp victims, and he doesn't get no respect for it. And the most ignominious thing of all, as the story progresses into Jaws 4, he's died of a heart attack. Fuck off. That is just a bum smear, you know, on the character of Brody. An Arab's just wiped his arse and gone like that across Brody's portrait. Just throw that bit in there. Like. But yeah, any excuse to play this stuff. It's so gorgeous. I'll tell you a little bit more. So again, the badge. Let me know what you think. You've probably heard this before. I didn't look on YouTube to see if there was a video about this. I bet I've done one years ago. Now I think about it. I'm getting so old and repeating myself. So there could be stuff. I know I've heard this debate before, and I've certainly read about it, because that's how I know about the Roy Scheider thing. And I'm inclined to believe it. There's no reason why Carl Gottlieb would lie about it, I don't think. And as a character sort of situation to give you an insight into his mindset, I think it's pretty good. It is a bit subconscious, a bit subliminal, I think, unless you're American. And Americans, you can let me know, please do, because you see coppers or law enforcement with their badges proudly displayed all over their left tit all the time. In the UK, we don't see that. The recognition thing. I'm a police officer. I'm a plod. You know. I'll refrain from using a lot of words that we do use for the police in the UK. But it's all on the left. But I don't think we would have any problem if it was on the right. I don't think we'd even notice. I really don't think we'd notice. But you guys in the States and Canada, you're going to spot that. So at the time, you must have been thinking, why is he? And then in every single scene, it's on the wrong side. You could think maybe, that's a bit of continuity. They put it on the wrong side. You know, or he got up quick in the morning, didn't look what he was. Or it should be stuck on his shirt all the time, like probably stuck on his undies as well. But you pick up on that. You'd notice it. If it was a continuity error, it'd be on the other side again in the next scene. And that's how you'd spot, they got it right, they've done it. See, it was a fuck up first time round, because it's constantly on the right in Jaws and Jaws 2. And he makes a bloody big point of pinning it on Hendrix's left side. You're going to be a yes man, because I know you. Hendrix evolves throughout the 2 movies as well, quite considerably. You actually think in the first movie he's not the full shilling, you know. He drops things. When everyone arrives, you know, all the fishermen, Mrs. Kitten's put the reward out, and everyone's turned up, and like Brody's on the phone like that inside the shack, and he picks up some crap and throws it the window to get Hendrix's attention, and Hendrix is outside. He just turns around and goes, he's like, no, fucking come here. But in the second movie, he's wonderful. He can pilot and operate the police launch, because now they've got a police launch. it's a little flimsy thing, as we've seen. I wouldn't fancy going out on that, to be honest. And Hendrix goes out with the old man in the sea, and of course they pick up the electricity cable, you know. Oh Jesus, drop it, the power will go out on the island, you know. Let's get out of here, let's get out of here before we do find something. But he's a lot stronger, and like, he is, you know, Chief, you're not Chief anymore, I can't let you take the boat, oh shit, and like, you're doing it all wrong. And he goes out with them, and Brody takes control. But Hendrix has got more assertiveness. He was naive, he was almost borderline, you know, a simpleton. But in Jaws 2, he's a lot more powerful. And that, again, that speech, you know, it's going to look a lot better on you than on me, a snappy addresser. Because Jeff's got, his name in real life is Jeff Cannell, Jeff Kramer, but he's Jeff Hendrix as well. And he's gone round to wish all the best to the Chief, but the Chief's just got pissed instead, but arrives there, and of course he's sitting there with Ellen and they're drinking the good stuff, and he just says, like, he's embarrassed because he doesn't know what to say to Brody, and he's also like, you know, Brody's pissed as well, and like, this should be a private moment between him and his missus, I shouldn't really be here. And he gets the badge on him, he's like, not only do I not want your job, I just want to say that I think you're the best. Oh, Jeff, you know, come on, you know. It's a really touching moment again. That's what I said before. All the characters in both Jaws and Jaws 2 have their moments to shine and a level of depth to them which makes them believable. It's gone too loud now, hasn't it? Well, so what? And him especially, because you like him. And when he goes out on the police launch, you're kind of like, oh God, don't let nothing happen to Hendrix, please. What if that had happened? What if they killed Hendrix? That could have been the real Jaws 3. You know, Brody wants the quiet life. He's about to retire. He's like Danny Glover, you know, I'm up for retirement. And another fucking shark comes in and takes out Hendrix. So Brody's got to go back, come out of retirement and go back and fight the shark again. God. Folks, Jaws will never die. Never. As each successive generation discovers Jaws, because of all of us, those who saw it when we were kids, we've now got kids of our own, we may even have grandkids of our own, and we're educating them in Jaws. And with all the merch, the veritable, you know, tsunami of merch that comes out all the time, and the 50th anniversary celebrations, there's a lot more coming our way. You know, we need summer dollars just to buy all our little bits of Jaws plastic memorabilia. Yeah. So anyway, folks, that was well, we're almost 40 minutes. We'll play a bit of music till we get to 40. And we start on the whole shark ball rolling. The 50th anniversary is going to be huge. But it's showing at the cinema again. Do you know what? The last few years, it's been on the cinema every year, for about the past 5-6 years. I know, because my son's got to see it almost every bloody year. So it's nothing new there. The big sort of way to view Jaws is, and they did it in Texas, Florida, they got all over the States. They did it in Wales, and they did it down south somewhere in the UK, where it's a pontoon with a big cinema screen on it, a massive cinema screen, and they show it at night, and all the audience are floating in the water. You may have done this, some of you may have seen it this way. What a way to watch Jaws. And so you're all like floating there, you've got your life jackets on, there's a rope, and you're all holding on to it, and you're watching, you've got your thermals on, so you've got your rubbers. You're all floating there, and it's at night, and there's divers going underneath who are grabbing people's legs. Oh my God, that lake will be full of shit by the end of that screening. Guarantee it. Bloody hell. Oh, while we're on it, let's do it. Taking down the Coast Guard helicopter. With the pilot who's got one of the most amazing beards I've ever seen. In its dimensions and its immaculate uniformity. But then, what's her name, gets killed. trying to save Sean. And she's the one I always thought was dead cute. And it's going to come up now. She manages, their boat's overturned, Sean's gone in the water. She manages to get Sean up and the shark comes up behind her. And they filmed that differently to begin with. You actually saw her in the mouth and you saw it from the front, but the camera angle, it looked like she's actually in the shark's mouth. They don't show that. They show it from behind, and the shark literally, you see its gills as it goes, chomps out its gills, go whoop, like that. Oh, nice bit of food. Whoop. But it's John Williams' music to signpost that horrific killing. It's very pantomimic. We're gonna get to it. It's the shark's just circling around underwater, like, and they're all like that. Oh God. Yeah, it's gone cold. Sean's climbing up like that and then gets on the upturned hull of the boat. And then she's trying to get up as well. Can't get up. Oh God. And she's in like a little gaily sailor suit. Uh-oh. Listen, listen, listen. Oh. It is pure villainy pantomime. Bomb, bomb, bomb. And as it sings, dun, 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 dun. And Sean's going, no, because he's been right next to it. She's been chomped. Oh God, let's do it again. And you've got Jackie going, wah! Jackie the incessant screamer. Jackie, shut up! And Larry Vaughan Jr. is going to fucking knock her teeth out. Anyway, folks, let me know what you think about the psychology of Brody and the positioning of the badge. Is it important? Is it a continuity error? Is it done on purpose? I think it's on purpose. And I think it does give us, oh, there's that fucking word again, segue into the mindset and the opinions and the maverick nature of our heroic everyday lawman on the island. It does give, and Shiner's got that ability to be sort of, knee-jerk and impulsive, smashing up the radio. Oh no, it's not Brody that smashes up the radio, it's Quint that does it. But he takes the bat and he's going, I'll tell you something else, Quint, you're certifiable, you know that, He's got a great big rage to him, which when it manifests, you literally are like, oh my God. So you can see why, I'm not going to do the hell again. And he's going mad at the town selectmen. And they're kind of like, let's look at the picture. Maybe that's why they go in the back room, because they think he's going to take our heads off. Let's go and hide, let's lock the door. And then we'll shout through the door, you're fired. And then we'll run out the back. Brody's coming after us, run, run, run. Tell him there's a shark. Look, Brody, there's a shark behind you. Yeah. Right, folks, I have been over shall be Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, in this ever, let's celebrate Jaws in between time. Please keep it kilted, keep it Celtic, and I'm going to see you all. Amity, Summertown needs summer dollars. Would you strip off to your shreddies on that beach? Even on the 4th of July, it does not look warm, does it? It doesn't. The water doesn't look that appealing. Nobody is getting in the water. Well, please get in the water. Go on. I've just put some suntan lotion on and I'm trying to get... No, please, get in the water. Fuck off. God, there's a shark out there, It doesn't look like the water looks cold, and I know, of course, they filmed it at a different time of year than what it's meant to be. But I don't know. Even in Jaws 2, it doesn't look that appealing. It looks kind of cold and wet and miserable. Right, I'm definitely going now. I mean, on the beach, no trunks for this guy. Tartan, kilt. Even on a beach, even in Ibiza, kilt. And we did do it. It's good in the water, it's good sort of ballast as well. It brings you up to the surface.